Hey everyone, it's Prophet Tina with Trump of God Ministry. I wanted to do an update on the video and the dream that I had on 8/14 regarding the stock market. So just a real quick recap of the dream. I saw Mike Pompeo speaking to another gentleman, which I didn't recognize, but he called him Varney. And they were looking down in like a hole or a well almost, it looked like it, and they would uncover it, and they would look in it and they would discuss it back and forth. And I heard Mike Pompeo say stock market, and then I heard, I saw the number 35. 35 flashed in front of my eyes a couple times. So I did send my dream to a friend who is an interpreter of dreams. Now his interpretation was the well that they were looking down in was actually the reserves of the United States. Mike Pompeo represented the current administration. He was just a government type official. You know, it didn't mean it was the Trump era or the Biden era, either one. It just meant the current administration, who's currently in the White House. And then the Varney, he did not know a man named Varney, but he said it was interesting enough to know that there was a tree that was considered a Varney tree, and it was to replenish the soil when you planted it. So he felt like it had to deal with our reserves in the United States and the stock market. And so the number 35, I kept dreaming about it, and I kept praying and asking God to give me some type of revelation, some type of knowledge, just something to go with that number 35. So here's what I came up with. There was actually a proposal, an adoption, and it's called the 35D for the stock market. I had no clue. If you're like me and the majority of the Americans, we do not know much about the stock market whatsoever. We know what it is. We know that, you can buy and sell and just the basics, but we don't know a whole lot of logistics of it. But so there is a 35D rule on the stock market. And I'll just read just a little bit of it to you, and I think you'll find it interesting. So they adopted it, and it says the major difference between Rule 35D as proposed and as adopted. First of all, the investment companies that primarily invest in tax-exempt bonds, the final rule dropped the requirement that an investment company adopt the 80% test as a fundamental policy. Under a fundamental policy approach, any departure from the 80% allocation policy would require shareholder approval. I know, it sounds like a lot of mumbo-jumbo. Then it says, secondly, the adopting the release modified the two-part test for investment companies with names that suggest that they focus their investments in a particular geographic region as proposed. The names rule would have required investment companies with names that suggest that the funds focus their investments in a particular country or geographic region to meet a two-part test. They would have to invest at least 80% of their assets in securities of issuers that are tied economically to the country or region, and the securities would have to meet one of the three criteria: securities of issuers organized under the law of the country, securities that are traded principally in the country or region. What it boils down to here is 35D was supposed to take care of deceptive practices in the stock market. But it looks like through the adoptions and through changing things and rearranging things, it did not do that for the American people. So I think that is what the dream from the Lord is trying to bring out, is that there's a lot of deceptive practices going on in the stock market in the current administration, and it will affect our reserves. So be looking out for that. Watch your stocks. Real clear. Check on them. I'm not saying check on them every day or something like that, but I'm saying, keep a check on them and see what's going on. I myself, I have a 401k through an employer. So that's about as much as I know about the stock market. So for God to give me a dream like this was just totally crazy to me, but I do think that he is sending out a warning about the stock market. So keep an eye on your stocks if you have them, and if you don't, maybe you're better off than us. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think that the Lord just wants us to keep an eye on what's going on, because I think the current administration is doing some pretty shifty things, and it's deceptive. And but I do know that the Lord wants to bring this all out to light, and that's why he has given the dreams, and he's given some prophecies about some things like this too. So I feel like that more and more is going to come out as the days grow nearer. So be watching for updates, and I will update you on anything else that I hear about the stock market. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.